Hey there, fellow sports gamblers. It's Steel Picks for you with the 5 best men's college basketball prize picks and underdog free picks for today, March 27th. Before we get into today's games, let's do a quick recap of yesterday's action. Kingston Fleming had a horrible game, going 4 for 10 from the field, scoring 11 points, well below the 16.5 we needed from him. In that same game, Keaton Wagler was also horrible from the field, going 4 for 14 for 13 points, but we expected that as we predicted he'd score less than 14.5 points. Darius Acuff Jr. wasn't great, and Arkansas didn't win the game, but he did his thing as usual, scoring 28 points, well above the 24.5 that we needed from him. From that same game, Jaden Bradley Jr. had a modest 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, just under the 26.5 points for our victory. And although Trey Kaufman-Wren hit the game winner to lead Purdue into the Elite Eight, he did it scoring 20 points and 8 rebounds under the 31.5 that we predicted for the victory. That makes it 4 for 5 for 4 straight days. And I'm a superstitious guy and don't like to really talk about it, but we're kind of on a heater for right now. It's looking good the last couple days, and let's see if we can keep it going. For our next bets for today, we have some unique bets, some unique picks, so stay with me on these, okay? It may not be conventional, but I got a hunch, and I think some things are going to happen. First off, we have Cameron Boozer under 21.5 points. First off, congratulations for Cameron winning the College Player of the Year. He certainly deserved it. He had a stellar season, leading his team to the ACC championship and a #1 seed for the Duke Blue Devils. But for some reason, I just don't wholeheartedly 100% believe in him now that we're to the Sweet 16. I think that as the competition gets tougher, the limitations in his game will start to show a little bit. He definitely is a guy that needs the ball inside. He's not really one for stretching the paint. He doesn't really shoot three-pointers that well. And I think as the teams get a little bit better, he's going to struggle a little bit. Now, the analytics don't necessarily back me in this one. As you can see, he's managed to go over that mark 6 of the last 10 games, with 24 against Notre Dame, 26 against North Carolina State, 26 against North Carolina, 23 against Florida State, 24 against Clemson, and 22 in his first round game against Siena. So from that perspective, it doesn't really look that positive. And in addition, he plays 34 minutes a game. He shoots pretty well from the field. 3 points, he only takes 3.5 of those a game. Not great at it. And he's pretty good at the free throw line. So again, not necessarily in our favor. But the thing that I'm really liking is St. John's defense and the fact that I think that they'll be able to nullify a lot of his inside scoring. Which brings me to my next bet. Zuby Ejiofor over 2.5 blocks. This is the person that I am going to think and I'm going to say is going to be the arch nemesis and the person that keeps Cameron Boozer from getting his big numbers, because he's going to be a presence in the paint. As you can see, these stats kind of back us up on this one. And in the last 4 of his last 6 games, he's had 3 blocks, a huge 7-block game against UConn, and 4 in his first round game against UNI. So the only 2 games he didn't have over 2.5 blocks in the last 6 games was against Hall and against Kansas. I think that this is a game where he's going to control the paint. St. John's is going to control the tempo. I do think Duke will win ultimately, but I think it's going to be more because of their all-around play. I don't think it's going to be so much just because Cameron Boozer has a dominant game. And so right off the bat, we have 2 picks from the same game that are opposites of one another, and I think will end up ultimately canceling themselves out. Again, we have Cameron Boozer under 21.5 and Zuby Ejiofor getting the over 2.5 blocks, teeing him up straight up and swinging and rotating to other big men when he gets the opportunity. I think he's going to get over the 2.5 blocks. And the prize picks also backs me up on this one. So I definitely think that's going to happen. For our third pick, we have Jeremiah Fears over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, Jeremiah's only done this in half of his last 10 games, but he's also done it in 5 of his last 6 with some pretty impressive performances against Indiana, where he went 21-4-9, against Rutgers, where he went 21-8, Against Michigan, we had a really big game with a 22-9. UCLA, he did his thing, got 35 points, rebounds, and assists. The only game that he didn't really get that in was against North Dakota State, but he rebounded very nicely against Louisville. So I definitely think that he's going to do this. One of the reasons is Jeremiah Fears controls the tempo. And Michigan State is all about tempo at this time of the year. He is their fearless leader. I think that he's going to take them where they want to go, which is to the Elite Eight. The numbers don't necessarily back it up with regards to UConn's defense as far as points allowed, rebounds, and assists. But I just have a feeling about this guy. He's going to have the ball in his hands quite a bit of the time. He plays about 35 minutes a game. He doesn't foul a whole lot. He's solid from the free throw line at 86%. He makes 46% of his threes. Doesn't take a whole lot of them. But at the same time, he's probably not going to need to in this game. He's just going to need to control tempo, do his thing, and get those points, rebounds, and assists that we have for him. And as you can see, Jeremiah Fears has exceeded 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 19 straight games, 29 points, rebounds, and assists game average. And again, PrizePicks likes us at minus 119, so definitely feel favorable about this one. As a friendly reminder, when you sign up with BETR using my promo code WINCASH, you can receive 2 anytime tokens worth up to $100 each. And when you sign up for Novig using my STEELEWINS promo code and spend $5, you can get a $50 bonus. Money well spent. Our next pickup is from that same game, that Michigan State-UConn game, Solo Ball under 9.5 points. In his last 10 games, he's failed to make this mark 7 of the 10 games, and also in 5 of his 6, including no points against UCLA. Few points against Furman, few points against Georgetown, but for the most part, Solo Ball has not really been a big contributing factor on the offensive side of the ball. And as we all know, Michigan State likes to play that lockdown, shutdown defense, only allowing 68.8 points a game. I definitely feel like this is a favorable matchup for Michigan State, and Solo Ball definitely won't be able to see the offensive productivity that he's used to. Doesn't really play that many minutes a game, not too many fouls, but as you can see, the last 3 games he's played significantly less, from 29 to 25 to 13. I don't see him having a major contributing factor in this game either. Free throws, he does all right from the free throw line, but doesn't really take a whole bunch of them. So I'm not really too worried about him scoring from that end either. And Solo Ball has failed to exceed 9.5 points in 5 of his last 6 games, as I just said. PrizePicks likes us as well, minus 119. Our last pick of the day, LeBaron Philon Jr., under 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists against Michigan. Now, Philon has had a very up and down college career. Some projected him to be a lottery pick his freshman year. Some even thought that he would leave early, but he chose to stay in school and has had mixed reviews. He hasn't really been the breakout player that people had anticipated. And from the points, rebounds, assists perspective, in his last 7 of his last 10 games, he's been under that mark, only going over against Arkansas for 44, Mississippi for 36, and Hofstra for 44. But his last game against Texas Tech, he was a mere 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 12 assists. So although he has all-around game that could potentially project at the next level, I'm not sure the tournament is really where he's going to shine. And Michigan has been playing much better defense as of late, as far as points allowed, rebounds allowed, and assists allowed. They rank very highly, very favorably, and shouldn't have much of a problem shutting down Philon. As we can see, he plays about 32 minutes a game, doesn't foul a whole lot, gets to the free throw line at a decent clip, doesn't really shoot the three-pointer that much, makes about 40% of them, but he's failed to exceed 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 11 of his last 13 games versus top 25 defenses for rebounds allowed, 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists game average. And again, PrizePicks likes this pick up for us as well because they have him at minus 119. So to recap, our picks that we have for today: Cameron Boozer under 21.5 points, Zuby Ejiofor over 2.5 blocks, Jeremy Fears Jr. over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and solo ball under 9.5 points. That's the top 5 picks that I have for you today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Steel Picks for You channel. And good luck with your bets, everyone.